Paly students have always been able to enjoy an open campus with Town and Country, but this year presents new uncertainties with the pandemic. Assistant Principal Jerry Bergson knows planning for an open campus again when students return will be difficult.
Whether we have an open campus is up in the air at this point. You can try to develop good habits on campus, but then once students go, to Town and Country or wherever, what does that look like? As difficult as the whole social distancing thing is, it's pretty difficult to keep 1,100 students or 2,200 students on campus at the same time as well. Campus supervisors, staff, we could put fencing up. I think it's one of those things, if we did make a decision in that direction, and I'm not saying we are, people are going to have to follow the rules.
With a little less than 2 months until in-person school is anticipated to begin, there are still several important factors to be determined.
There's a lot of variables still, such as how many students are going to be on campus. There's a question of social distancing, having enough space for students to sit, best if they're outdoors. What do we do when there's bad weather? And then there's other issues. If we don't open it, is food services prepared to handle a larger number of students? Can we bring vendors on campus, which I doubt because of certain contracts with the food service companies. These are the things that we have to discuss. If we have only 50% of the kids come to school, maybe we don't do a hybrid. We do like a telecast or whatever they're calling it. They're doing surveys right now to see how many students are going to come back on campus. That'll dictate a lot. So there's all sorts of variables that we're thinking about.
It's not just Paly students who want to be able to go to Town and Country. Businesses across the street appreciate the inflow of students for revenue purposes, and more clients would be a major boon to stores struggling from the pandemic. But there are still complications involved.
I assume if they had a vote, they would want students over there. I'm sure they've, the Monday through Friday, a significant amount of their revenue is happening during lunchtime. Pretty darn significant amount. I'm sure they would make some sort of adjustments to have food prepared in advance. So it's a get in, get out type thing. And that's something, when we get to that point, after we make our decisions, if indeed we are an open campus, it's probably something where we would speak with them and say, hey, this might be a good idea for you guys.
No final decisions have been made yet, but when they are made, it will be a site decision by the school.
In the end, it's a site decision. Obviously, we collaborate with the district office to see if they had any input. Obviously the students want to have a voice in that, but ultimately, a decision has to be made somewhere at the top, which would probably be at the site. Things are changing all the time. There's lots of decisions to be made. I tell people all the time, this is our first pandemic. So there's a lot to look at, and we might not necessarily get things right the first time, and it's all about making adjustments the whole time and what's best and safest for everyone involved.
Coming back to school in January will be different in many ways, and the open campus question is just another predicament for staff to ponder. Students and businesses across the way will be eager for their decision. For In Focus, I'm JP Conroy.